Last week on Knights of the Roll Table,
The 8-year-old Sindle is nowhere to be seen.
They were waiting in ambush. They were here. They were in our house. Gnolls don't ambush. They're not quiet creatures. They were waiting for us.
Sora going after these gnolls right now, that might be a suicide mission, but she's going on it regardless.
Why do they keep taking Sindle?
Sindle is not Kevin and my biological child. Any help you could provide, I would be eternally grateful.
You are not calling, we are offering.
My cousin was killed by gnolls.
Can I tell if Lyra is telling you?
No, that's a lie. I think they might be.
I saw something move.
Several gnolls start shooting down arrows at you. Across the way, you notice a gnoll goes like flying over the side.
Is it one of our friends?
There's a couple orcs over there, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?"
It's your recruits.
Did you guys get lost? It's like the other way.
You guys are gathered in a canyon with your orc friends, of which there are about 8 of Minx and his friends, the orcs, who want their payment back. These guys stiffed them. Payment, which is in
Convenient.
Lyra's pocket, unbeknownst to them. And
And us.
you're able to look at the map and basically see where presumably they're going. This seems to be the map towards the portal, which also seems to be where these gnolls are headed. And Sora is with you, still anxious to go.
Sora, do you recognize any of these landmarks or anything on the map that might give us an advantage of where we might be able to make a strategic attack?
I recognize all of these landmarks. I know exactly where this is, and there's no portal there. There's nothing in this area. It's just a clearing.
I believe there might
Maybe
be
they
a portal.
put the portal there.
Maybe they're going to sacrifice Sindle.
Why would you say that?
I just, what else do you do in clearings?
Just throwing out ideas.
I thought it could be possible.
Lyra, I
There's a
think we need
sensitivity
have
to
a
the
talk.
situation.
I'm sorry, Sora, I'm sure that she's fine. I'm sure it was just...
Let's just go. She's absolutely not fine. It's magically protected in some way, but we can't possibly know until we're there.
All right. I mean, is everyone feeling okay? I mean, anybody get hurt? If we rest? I mean, if we...
Coach has a number of arrows sticking out of his body.
Oh, all right. Take a knee, Coach.
Let me, I would take my point my staff, my Healy staff at him and say, please.
I'll pull out the arrows.
Yes, the staff will heal Coach for 8 damage.
Ooh.
Thank you.
I will pull out the arrows, clean them, and take them for myself.
For your arrows? Okay. Gravely recovers some arrows. Sora is definitely not going to be short resting. She's definitely still time to move.
All right. Well, I have no spell slots left. Not that I have a lot to begin with, but
We're going to press
Ranger
forward.
problems.
yep.
So you guys all press forward, continue down the path, follow these orcs and there's tracks along the way. And when you get to this clearing, you see some gnolls out there in the clearing walking towards it, just like 3 or so. And they walk towards this clearing kind of ahead of you on the path, and then they disappear.
Whoa.
So what was
Kind
that?
of not
what
unlike-
was that you were saying, Sora, about there not being anything
Let's
over
not
here?
rub it in, Maya.
Oh, whatever. If she wants to be silly, I would call her out on it.
Sora, have you ever seen anything like this?
It seems it's not unlike that. It looks very much like the type of magic that we saw Sontag do.
Right. Well, are we prepared to go back into the Feywild or goodness knows where?
Can I shoot like a patron text to Tanya?
That is not a thing. You can
Hey,
just
girl.
act out in the world. You don't have a little Titania beeper or anything. And usually when you try to just throw out into the
It's
ether
to the
question
sound
for
of
her.
Gwen Stefani's hollaback girl.
It's kind of like the equivalent of a booty call. Like you just send it out there hoping maybe something will come back, but it doesn't, you don't expect an answer.
You can do the equivalent of a booty call with Titania. What would you like to throw to her?
Say, hey girl, there is some stuff we're helping with the child Sindle. I think you know her, but stuff's going down. Maybe you could help a sister out. Also, I'm thinking about bangs. Tell me how you feel about that.
Maya's a good multitasker. As long as I have you.
All right, well, I think we
you
should
don't
go.
hear any reply immediately.
I think we should go.
Poop.
Well, this is going to lead us back into that crazy Fey place.
Yes, we might be able to find XX Bloody Heart.
Oh, wow. I totally forgot about him.
Steven!
Do we really want... Now that we've had some time...
I feel like we owe it to him to try to get him back.
Just because we get him back doesn't mean we have to hang out.
We also don't know if this is going to go into the Feywild either. We're going in blind. It says nothing.
And Sora's going.
Well, maybe it would scare him straight.
Gravely runs after her.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, we told her okay.
Lyra goes in next.
Coach is going to jump through, hammers out.
Yeah, I'm going through with my bows out like bows.
Maya kind of skips into it.
So as you guys cross the point on the path where the gnolls disappeared, you suddenly are in a very busy area, and there is definitely in the center of this clearing, there's a big kind of stone steps, a platform with stone steps up on the top of that. There's a big stone empty circle, kind of like there's a big stone ring that looks like the sort of thing that might be a portal, but it's just like there's just a hole there. It's not like filled with magical wavy lines or anything. And also in front of that, there's another platform that
It just says closet.
No, on that platform is Sindle. And she is, and beyond that, there's also like lots of gnolls around. You guys came in right behind the three gnolls that you saw disappear. Basically, Sindle is up. She's conscious. She's awake, and she is raising hell, just like firing off fire bolts all over the place. So as you guys crossed into that, it was also like very quiet out where you were. And so as the moment that you like cross through this like whatever sort of like magical barrier this is, you're walking into all of a sudden just like chaos, battle, screaming, growling. Sindle is in the middle of things, shooting off fire bolts and rays of fire, and gnolls are running around, burning, and she's screaming, and they're trying to kind of like grab her and pin her down and hold her, but she's just, creating a lot of chaos with that. Every time one tries to grab her, it tends to get burned in some way. There are some other important figures around. One is that armored figure that you guys followed earlier and encountered in the canyon is down there near where Sindle is, who is kind of in grabbing range from her, but is not like doesn't really want to touch her, wants to like leave that to the gnolls, is directing them still like, grab her, get her down, come on, this is, I feel like more. And up on the platform by that ring, there is a figure which is looks a lot like Lady Aranye, but is not. It's male, and it's not a spider. This guy is definitely, in the same way that she was pretty spidery, this guy looks an awful lot like a hornet. He's taller, he's bigger, he has long silver hair, he has like the thorax of a hornet with a big ol', what looks like probably a stinger on the end, and he has big wings, and he's standing up there, and he's also holding a formidable-looking longbow.
Oh, he is gorgeous.
I think this might be Lord Metre.
I told you I didn't want to come back to this Fey place.
Well, let's do our best.
But we found Sindle. That's what we came here for.
Yeah, we just need to grab her and get out.
You guys have, because of the chaos of the situation, let's have everybody roll stealth to see how like undetected you can be. Everybody rolled stealth. Lyra, the rogue, is at 21. Gravely, the ranger, 16. Maya is at 16. And Coach is at 2.
Big T.
The barbarian.
Coach was also last in. So probably what happens is like you guys are able to kind of like sneak into the situation one by one and take stock of everything I described and kind of see and plot and start to like take some hiding places.
Yes,
and then
I think we should go
eventually
around the
Coach just
bend
like,
and go in.
everybody, how's it going?
That didn't sound like Coach at all.
And definitely several gnolls in the area all turn towards.
Well, here we go.
So wait, are we effectively stealthed and he's given away his location, or has he brought attention to all of us?
So I will say Sora's immediately kind of stalked off along the side to try to sneak towards Sindle. And I will kind of leave you guys each like the choice of like whether you follow her, go a different direction before Coach shows up, or just kind of like make a stand, make an inevitable stand with Coach.
I think Maya would probably wait for Coach, not realizing that he's going to coach it.
Lyra is going to follow Sora and stealthily move through the crowd.
Sorry, Zach. Can you describe? So, are we up on a raised area, and she went in one direction? Sora went in one direction.
No, you guys all came into this clearing together, which is pretty flat. There's kind of this like stone platform where they're trying to hold Sindle, and separately from that, there's the big stone circle.
Okay.
Lord Metre, who this is, you're fairly confident is up on the stone circle, and this dude in armor and a bunch of gnolls are fighting with Sindle. There's some gnolls around you, so when Coach kind of charges in, several of them turn towards him.
Okay. I want to run in the opposite direction of Sora and Lyra and shoot at the armored dude.
Okay.
Oh.
So we have Sora and Lyra are sneaking around one way. Maya and Coach are standing where you guys entered, attracting attention. And Gravely is going to go the other way and take a shot at the armored guy. And something else about the situation is you can see visually kind of like the extent of a big like dome of magic that made this like not something. This whole area, you couldn't hear it or see it from outside the dome, and when you stepped in, you can kind of see. You can basically see what's outside of it, but you can definitely see like the
So
the
it's not
edge of the
necessarily a
situation.
portal, it's more like a protected or like disguised area, right?
Yeah.
Like we're still in this,
What it
we're
reminds you
occupying
of-
the same space.
What it reminds you of a little bit is the way you, well, actually, like, I was going to say the sprite camp, when you tried to go back to it, you couldn't find it, but you knew it was there. So it seems something along those lines. You're probably
Invisible
still
igloo.
in the land of Oakhart, not like in another plane. This has just been kind of like shielded in some way. All right, so Gravely was up, and Gravely is going to shoot at the armor guy. Roll for that.
16 to hit.
All right, that's going to hit. Roll some damage.
Some armor.
15.
Jeez.
Don't armor shame, Coach.
15.
All right, so you are going to shoot an arrow basically into the center of this mass, and that arrow hits him and clings really loudly, actually kind of oddly loudly off the armor. It makes a very solid, like, bong kind of noise, which makes it sounded like almost a little bit hollow. And he definitely stops and turns towards you and sees you standing there looking slightly smug. Just shot him.
Maya's just going to call out, "Hello!"
Yes.
But I hit him?
Maya's battle cry. You did.
Okay.
Maya's battle cry. That's awesome.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Give us back the girl and no one will get hurt.
So about half the gnolls are still like fighting with Sindle all over the place, getting burned, and about half of them are now
You won't get hurt by her, at least.
turned towards you guys. And it's Maya's turn.
Maya is going to. So are there gnolls, I'm assuming, between me and the armor guy and all of that up there? Well, poop. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move away from Coach, like into the throng of gnolls, and I'm gonna use Sword Burst. So basically, I'm gonna have a ton of spectral blades, like just start swirling around my body. Ooh. And I'm just gonna try and take out as many gnolls as possible. So they're gonna make a dex save against that.
You're like drumming at the same time.
Stab, 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 stab.
All right, so the gnolls make what is their number they're going for? They got a 14.
15 is my DC.
All right, so a bunch of gnolls are cut up by swords.
Yeah, so they're going to take 8 damage each.
Ooh.
Please.
Thanks.
And she's going to yell out, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight, but you make me do this. It is your fault.
All right, so those gnolls definitely close in on you and then get all cut up by a bunch of swords. And you can see some of them have little, like, thorns in them because they earlier got hit by Gravely's hail of thorns. And they are having none of these stupid spells to keep coming at them. And they kind of, like, back off and give you a little bit of space.
They know like that.
Oh, gosh.
3 go surround Coach, and I'm going to roll some quick attacks, and I rolled a 2 and then a 20. So that one's going to do some damage to Mr. Coach. That's going to be 12 damage, halved. I assume you're...
Nope, I'm not raging. I'm out of rages.
Oh, he's done with rages. All right.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 damage. Yikes. You can't get through my...
Oh, God, you have lead on you.
I'll be fine.
All right, so that was a bite attack that he just like grabs you and bites you and sinks his teeth into some vulnerable part of you. And Lyra's turn.
So I reach into the pouch around my neck to figure out if the magic still works here, even though we're under a spell. And I pull out the finger bone of Saint Ignatius.
Saint Ignatius.
Ignacio.
Okay.
Saint Ignacio.
Ignacio. And?
I bring the bone to my lips and I kiss it.
Ignacio.
Wait,
is that a thing you have to do to
nope,
activate
this is something
it,
I enjoy doing.
Okay.
I rub the smooth bone along my lips.
Right.
Don't bone shame.
Tasting it subtly.
Oh, my gosh.
And then,
Dear.
And then tastes like chicken. I call upon the magic of the bone, which is to allow me to become... Is magic a bad word?
Hold on. Weston and I are going to walk.
I don't think magic is what Weston should do.
I have to go.
We should have thought more carefully about this item.
No, you said magic of the bone.
Okay.
You guys are behaving like children.
I'm slightly uncomfortable right now.
Okay, so
this
Not all bones are magic.
artifact allows me to transform my appearance.
yes.
So because gnolls are humanoid, can I transform into a gnoll?
Yes.
Yes! Okay, so I transform into a gnoll.
Nobody will know who you are.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so totally, like you're sneaking along with Sora and just in the midst of a lot of chaos. And so like totally nobody's going to notice when that happens. And now you're a gnoll able to do whatever you want, really.
Gnoll stuff.
Which is, that's your action, though, to transform into a gnoll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Nobody knows. Go ahead.
So are you headed towards anything in particular?
Yes, I'm heading towards Sindle.
Okay.
The unfortunate thing is that anybody listening to this podcast can't hear or see the amount of head shaking that's going on every time one of these puns gets said. So just so you know, like, we hate it
copious.
too.
We hate ourselves just as much, maybe more than you do.
We're not going to stop, but we do feel
It means nothing, but
It's like a 30% hate.
we feel an appropriate amount
Where
of
do we
shame.
get to the kobold puns?
Cobalt. I hardly knew him. No.
We'll work on it. We've got a couple episodes. All right, it's Coach's turn.
Coach. Coach is going to take the gnoll who just bit him and he's going to push him out of the way, and he's going to make a blind sprint toward Sindle.
Okay, just like straight through all the gnolls.
Just bulleting through them as fast as he can.
We'll say athletics roll to knock some out of the way and get there.
All right. Okay, so he's going to get into that 3-point stance, like before a hike in American football for all of our international listeners.
Got it.
Oh,
Yeah. And he's going to go, and he doesn't have any rage left, but he's going to dig real deep and do this anyway. Huzzah! Ooh, 21.
Gnolls go flying, barreling aside, side to side, grabbing at him. He jukes and spins and does other football-y moves and makes it about half of the way towards Sindle, attracting much attention, drawing
I'll
it away.
use my action also to dash.
Okay.
So I'm trying to move as far as I can.
Okay, so you can get up most of the way to this, like, the chaotic, fiery melee that is Sindle and all of these gnolls trying to hold her.
Sindle, it's whoa! Yeah. As my free action, I'm going to try and talk to Sindle and just be like, Sindle, we've come to help you. Come this way.
And Sindle looks at you, and she's all, like, fired out and fire-eyed and flaming the way you saw her in the middle of the town square earlier. And I mean, she would like to do that, but she's also kind of like shooting firebolts towards you, taking out gnolls next to you and all around her, and looking. I mean, you can see her looking kind of not quite herself, almost like a little bit possessed. Like you don't know how much that is like magical fieriness or just kind of like the traumatic, like fight or flight.
Okay.
Of the moment, but she's
been through
definitely
some stuff today.
Some serious
Been kidnapped
stuff.
twice in one day. Okay.
not in one day.
Oh, 2 days. No. That was before. There was like a week.
There was a little bit of downtime.
It was a full week.
It's been a tough month.
All right, that's my turn.
And so Coach is there close to her, and Lyra is out there amongst the gnolls, gravely just shot this dude in the armor. And Maya just sword bursted a whole bunch of gnolls, so you guys have injected an appropriate amount of chaos into this scene. Each of you has successfully attracted either a lot of attention or no attention as you intended. And then Lord Metre raises a hand kind of in the middle of all of this, and like there's definitely a calming amidst like his forces and the chaos and everything. And silence, everyone! Perhaps we can just take a moment to discuss this.
That was what I was saying.
Ah, yes. You must be Maya. I've heard so much about you.
Hello.
Yes, hello to you as well. Perhaps we can work something out. We can create some sort of a deal here. There needs to be no more bloodshed. War is so messy. I need really only one thing out of this situation. And he lifts his longbow that he has with him, and he loads a big, mean-looking. He's bigger, so like the arrow for him is kind of like small spear size. And he says, like, I think this could perhaps all be settled by this one simple gesture. And he loads that bow, and for a moment it looks like he's going to shoot Sindle with it. But then he turns over towards Sora, where most people haven't noticed him, but he's clearly been watching Sora the whole time. And I'll just simply end this child's mother. And he pulls out that bow, and before he fires the arrow, Sindle just screams, "No!"
Hello, Knights of the Rolled Table, and thank you for listening. I wanted to share with you a special project out there in the community. It is a Kickstarter, and it is called Let's Play Dungeons & Dragons Behind Bars. They are trying to get a documentary funded all about people playing Dungeons & Dragons in the prison system, which is a really cool thing that's happened organically for years and years. The therapeutic value of that is huge, and there's a lot of resistance to it. And speaking as a therapist myself, most of the resistance is fairly dumb. So that's definitely something that like I would like to advocate, and please support that Kickstarter. Let's Play Dungeons and Dragons Behind Bars is what it's called. And also, if you would like to, you can research locally. There's a lot of prisons, juvenile halls, things like that have programs where you can go in and DMs for groups of folks that are locked up who tend to really, really appreciate it. People who do that generally have incredibly positive experiences. So if that interests you at all, please look into it. Speaking of being a therapist and role-playing games, I would love to have your follow at MFTZACH. That's my Twitter account that I've been building up where I tweet about the podcast and matters of therapy and role-playing games. You can also follow us at Rolled Table. You can also follow our Instagram at Knights of the Rolled Table Podcast. Chris just posted an awesome picture he did of Sindle shooting fire. It's pretty rad. You can check out Chris's other work at Daily Tunes RPG. Always thank you to Weston, who composed our theme. You can follow him on Instagram at Make My Anthem. He also does tons and tons of editing and sound mixing and mastering, and he does the incredible opening montages of last week on Knights of the Rolled Table, which sounds so good and takes so much work. So thank you to Weston. And also make sure to check out the bio episodes we dropped on Friday night, I believe. We dropped a real short episode that talks about Gravely and his background. This next coming Friday, we should be dropping the one about Maya, which is really incredible. Definitely don't miss that. It's maybe my favorite thing we've recorded so far. So check all that out. Thank you for listening. Remember to spread the word, subscribe, rate, and review, and go out and make life an adventure.
And with that, she turns towards, so he's standing up there on the portal, and she summons out of her fiery rage comes a fireball, which is the biggest thing you've ever seen her shoot was the initial fireball she shot with you back in the town square. And this is bigger than that, maybe almost the radius of the whole portal he's standing behind. And she hurls that towards where he is, and he looks towards it and kind of smiles, and he drops to the ground and actually continues through, like basically a hole opens up underneath him that also kind of looks like a portal, kind of like Sontag summoned before, and he like drops right through the floor. And so that fireball smashes against the portal behind him and fills that portal with fire and kind of stands there and holds there, and the whole thing sort of lights up and starts to swirl, and you can tell something's happening, like that portal's being activated, and out of it emerges a figure. So you can kind of see like the fire sort of clears, and you can see almost like a whole world. It looks like caves or buildings or trees or something. It's hard to say because it's all made of fire, but it looks like structures and something on the other side of this portal, and a figure steps through it, a big fiery figure that has fiery horns and fiery clothes. It looks like it's almost entirely made of fire and kind of like charred molten rock. It looks to be a humanoid figure, also large, kind of the size that Lord Metre is, and he steps through, and some other fiery figures step through behind him, and Lord Metre says, "Welcome, finally, to your new realm, Lord Charcandris." And now you're standing there with this big fiery guy and this active portal. What do you do?
But I thought we were going to talk.
So, specifically, also what's happening, so that fireball that Sindle cast, like as this like portal was clearly like collecting this fire, there was like it almost looked like the fire was being drawn out of her. Like she cast the fireball, but then like once it hit, it like connected with her and continued to like draw this fire out of her for several seconds. And once it seemed to complete the portal and this figure started to step forward, Sindle just like collapses down onto that platform she was standing on.
Coach is already there.
Coach is nearby there, yes.
So Coach is going to sprint and pick her up.
Okay. Sora's there with you, so she probably gets there about the same time.
It's going to be all right, Sindle.
And you can tell she is conscious, but she's breathing, looks to be maybe well, she's probably unconscious, but she's not like injured in any way. You can tell she's breathing. She's okay, but she's not really responding to you.
Coach is going to look up at Sora and say, we're leaving.
Yes.
And Coach is going to sprint with Sindle, holding Sindle back down to where they came from.
Towards the entrance.
Holding Sindle like a football.
Okay.
His other arm outstretched.
All right. What
An American football for all of our international friends.
So Gravely's along the edge, just shot armor guy. Noel Lyra is in the midst of things, and Maya's.
Lyra sees Coach, grabs Sindle and run toward the exterior, so she does the same. But as she's pushing her way through the crowds of gnolls who are not paying her any attention because she looks just like them, she takes the opportunity to keep squishing her finger in their eyes or stepping on their toes or shoving an elbow into their ribs and just generally trying to be as disruptive as possible.
Yeah, a lot of like elbowing one and then like trying to get it to look like at another one next to it, like creating general melee. You can probably do a lot of that on the way out and create some chaos amidst the gnolls.
Oh dear, I'm gonna do it. Maya is going to.
Oh no, I never liked the phrase. Oh no, I'm going to do it.
I'm not really doing it. It's her. She's going to act like nothing happened just now and like leisurely walk towards Metre and be like, I thought we were going to talk. I came here to talk. And she'll pull out her little booze canter and start pouring a drink like she's ready to talk to him. It's a bold move, but she's going to see if we can discuss and make a deal.
So you can't, he's farther away than you can kind of casually stroll, but you can definitely like
about a nice little power walk
towards and make that gesture. I feel like time for negotiation has passed. Lord Charcandrus is here, so we really have, Lord things to discuss at this point. So Lord Charcandrus also looks at you, presumably. That's the name of this big fire guy that walked in. And he says, yes, I agree. So, And he sort of casts his hands out towards a bunch of gnolls and actually casts both hands out towards gnolls, and fiery beams shoot out from each of his fingers, and each one strikes a gnoll, and each of those gnolls light up in fire, in the same sort of fire where like the gnoll's not on fire, but now in some way, shape, or form, there's 10 fire gnolls.
They're flaming gnolls?
They are flaming gnolls. It sounds like a drink you'd get in a college bar over spring break. And he says, yes, you 5 stay here, you 5 kill them. And now there's 5 flaming gnolls that are about to pursue you.
Well, I guess flaming gnolls are better than grassy gnolls.
Hey.
Maya's going to
solid.
chug her
night.
drink real quick
That was solid.
and then run after Coach.
Okay. All right, so you guys are all heading out back into the clearing, presumably. Now you really are on essentially an escort quest with Sindle. So Coach is currently holding Sindle, and Sora is right with you. And you guys are heading out, pursued by these 5 flaming gnolls, and following them is the dude in armor who comes bursting out of that. So as you head out, you kind of enter back into the regular, quiet night of the woods. But then these 5 gnolls burst out, and then the guy in armor comes out mounted on a horse that also has some armor on it, chasing you. Everybody roll initiative. All right, so in initiative order, we have Gravely, Coach, Sora, Lyra, and Maya. Gravely, what are you doing? And everybody's like movement speed is going to come into this. So you certainly have the option of like just dashing and running, or using your movement, turning, and using some sort of an action. Like, what are you guys going to do? Starting with Gravely.
Are we just in a clearing, and is there anything around like trees or mountains or?
Yeah, so you're exiting this clearing, and the clearing that has that portal into it, but you're back, like what you're seeing around you is back to the mountain and the woods. There's a path. It's not like a road, but kind of the path you came in on is more kind of like a game trail, and there's certainly like trees and hills and roots and lots of foresty stuff around.
Okay. I'm going to duck behind a tree with my movement, and then I'm going to shoot the armor guy. That's a natural 20 again.
James. All right, so I'm going to say this time with that critical hit, you hit his armor hard, kind of like near his head, and it like clangs really kind of hollowly, and he like takes that on the side, and it overbalances him, and he falls off of his horse, which just like ditches him right away, just like runs off. Different direction, not back into the portal hell area, just like off into the woods.
I'm out.
Should I roll
And he
damage?
just like clinks hard with a lot more like bong, gong, 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 as that armor clinks together onto the ground.
I roll damage?
No.
Okay.
You just get all of that.
All
So
right.
basically it's only affecting the armor, but you've like
Gotcha.
dismounted him and all of that.
All right. Well, I'll take that. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Coach is going to walk or kind of kneel down, catch his breath a little bit, and is going to say to Sora, "All right, here's Sindle. Take her back. Keep her safe. We're gonna buy you some time." And then Coach is gonna run back a different direction, and is gonna try and like basically call the gnolls over to him.
And Sora says, "Here, put her on my back." And she transforms into a horse.
What?
What is Sora?
She is a druid. Specifically, a druid fighter.
Oh my.
So she has the shape-changing ability of a druid. She's become a horse.
What?
And you can kind of put Sindle up on her.
Sora, any other secrets you'd like to tell us?
She can't. She's a horse.
We'll have girl talk later.
Why the long face?
She can't talk. She's
Coach's
a little
eyes
horse.
are like big anime eyes with like 3 sparkly little like wiggly like what?
She's a big horse.
So you're putting Sindle up on horse Sora.
Yep.
And you're going to try to hang back and
Yeah. Buy him
with
some
these
time.
guys. All right. So, well, I think as Sora like transforms, before she becomes a horse, she kind of says like, this is not a battle you can win today. Follow us. I'll head out. Follow us. Meet back at Respite if at all possible. I thank you again. I can never thank you enough.
We'll see you there.
And then she transforms, and you put Sindle up there, and she gallops off.
If she turns into a horse and is galloping away, I guess Coach will just run after her. I mean, I'm not going to be as fast as a horse, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll just use my movement. If any of them catch up to me, then I'll hold my attack action.
Okay. So do you want to?
That'll be my trigger. If they come in within melee range of me, I'll just swing my warhammer at them.
Okay. And then that will be so Sora's taking off, dashing in horse form down the line, and then it's Lyra's turn.
Dashing past the
Noel Lyra. Some of you, I don't know that all of you necessarily know that Lyra made herself look like a gnoll.
I think Coach has
so
no
a gnoll
idea.
ran out with you like, hey guys, let's go.
If she gets within 5 feet of me, I'm smacking her with
Totally
a warhammer.
smacking her
Oh
down.
yeah, there is no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. No doubt in my mind.
So you run out. You are not one of the flaming gnolls. You're just a regular gnoll that runs out with them. You're aware, and you can drop that spell if you want. And you can also, but you could also choose to continue to like use that ruse. What are you going to do?
I'm going to drop the spell.
Okay.
For that very reason that nobody knows. So I drop the spell, I become Lyra again, and I take off running after Coach.
So both of you are running down the way, and it is Maya's turn.
Maya will also run, but we'll go ahead and silent image the horse with Sindle on top of it, but going in like an opposite direction.
Oh, a decoy horse. Nice.
I'm getting my money's worth on that silent image, man.
For sure.
Solid.
Good angle. Roll deception to try to fool some of these. With the 8 of the spell, go ahead and roll with advantage. See how many you can take with it.
That's a 15.
Oh, there we go. So we'll say, what have we got? We've got 5 following you, and 2 of them head off after Silent Image, Sora, and Sindle. And so there's 3 left in pursuit of actually real, no longer Noel, Lyra, and Coach, and well ahead of you already is Sora. And we go back to Gravely. So because you didn't really run, you stepped behind a tree.
I was hiding behind the tree.
Mm-hmm. So the 3 fire gnolls are ahead of you, and so you're close to this like clump of armor down in the path. What do you do?
Is the clump of armor moving?
It is not currently moving. Roll a perception check.
Perceive the crap out of that thing. Just perceive it so hard.
It's going to be like He-Man armor. I'm going to turn into He-Man.
You don himself.
Yeah, right?
I'm sorry, wait, He-Man armor? What part of
Well, it's like, it's like a loin cloth.
like a fur loin cloth and just like the X across his chest?
Yeah.
That's armor.
I have the 12 plus 4. That's 16.
16. All right, so when this armor goes down, you see a figure scramble away from it. A small figure.
Oh.
That little rat creature. Syntax.
What do you
Syntax.
do?
Syntax.
Is it going back towards the portal or towards the others?
It scrambled off into the woods.
I'm going to follow it. Stealthily
Okay.
and hold my action to attack.
So you can run into the woods the direction you saw it go. And
I have advantage on survival checks to track my favorite enemy.
is this now what is your favorite enemy? Humanoids?
Humanoids.
All right. It was humanoid.
Humanoids!
All right, we'll go ahead and roll advantage on a survival check then.
Okay.
Be just like ice rats.
Yeah.
Famous favorite enemy.
Can you speak common? You're mine.
Not great. 13.
My favorite enemy is left-handed coyotes. All right, what was it?
13.
13. All right, so you can see signs of the direction that it scrambled off to. Kind of, we'll say there's some kind of like bushes and foliage that are kind of thick, where you both looking around it, where it probably couldn't go in the amount of time it had, and like possible hiding places and a few signs of direction. You think it's probably somewhere currently hidden by those bushes.
All right. If I still have an action, can I check out the armor?
Yes. So essentially you would run in there, kind of look, not see it immediately, and look back at the armor. And
Looking for anything that might be useful or anything that's like, this would be a key weapon or something like that.
yeah, well, so what you see with the armor is that as you get up close to it, there's basically like, it's open in the back. There's like a whole kind of like, sort of like door compartment kind of opening where like whatever was in it looks like they like popped out of it when it started to fall. So this smaller creature was in the armor, and essentially like this big like set of like regular size humanoid, maybe 6-footish tall armored creature appears to have been the creature that was actually in this armor appears to be like approximately Gravely sized.
Cool.
But now this armor is empty. That's laying there.
Okay.
And this creature scrambled off.
That's my turn.
All right. So of the rest of you, are you going to do anything besides run in this turn? Are you going to try to turn and fight these gnolls, or going to continue down? You're
There's
probably
3
noticing
left,
that
right?
Gravely is not with you.
Where's Gravely? Gravely!
He was behind me.
Fall behind, left behind.
Arch.
But we already lost Steve-O.
I know. I don't mean it. We should go back for him.
But if we go back, how can we protect Sora and Sindle?
Well, she is on a horse, so I don't think these gnolls are catching up anytime soon. We're not catching up. We're not gaining on her at all.
All right, let's kill some gnolls. So we'll turn around.
All right, so the 3 of you turn around, and you're now facing off against 3 fiery gnolls who all look at you, and they're each going to shoot a firebolt at one of you.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This was a bad idea.
They've leveled up.
And one hits Maya for 5 damage. One misses Coach. And for Lyra also misses. So Maya took 5 fire damage. And you now know you're facing gnolls that can shoot fire at you. Coach's turn.
Coach is going to book it towards one of the gnolls, double warhammer to the face. He's gonna do one of those little jumps where he's gonna like spin like a windmill. Nice. Trying to do a double slam.
All right, roll those 2 attacks.
12 on the first one and 15 on the second one.
12 total, so the second one hits.
Second one hits. 7 damage on the second one.
Okay, 7 damage. And you can tell as you hit it that this is probably one of the ones that already took some thorns and mystical sword damage. So it doesn't go down, but you can tell that it's fairly beat up. You also take 2 points of fire damage when you make contact with it. Okay. And it is Lyra's turn.
So Lyra is going to cast Minor Illusion.
Ooh.
Can that be anything?
It can't really move around a lot. It's not usually a living creature. You can an object most functionally, but like I can make a ruling if you want to try something.
I wanted to create an illusion of the man in the armor off to the side of the gnolls, like he was trying to summon them back or like draw their attention away.
Yeah, you could create an image of the armor. I think, well, it's 5 feet by 5 feet, so you could create a short version of the armor.
And it can't make any sound.
Okay.
Just off to the side?
I'm gonna place it there. I'm gonna throw it out there off to the side in hopes that the gnolls get distracted even for a split second and we get an advantage of some sort.
Cool. Okay. So yes, you can cast that off to the side, and like you can also like speak or gesture. You want to like draw their attention to it.
Oh no! The man in the armor is back. I look pointedly toward the man in the illusion of the armored man.
All right, roll deception.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
the two that Coach is not hitting, both are like, and you can have advantage on them for the round. So now it's Maya's turn.
She's gonna rush. They're all pretty clustered, right? The 3 of them. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna rush back in, and she's just gonna like position herself as central to them as possible and sword burst again.
Sword burst again. All right, roll damage. It's their dex save, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they're gonna miss.
Cool. They're each going to take 12 damage.
12
Jeez
damage. So
Louise.
you walk right in there. They're not paying attention. You kind of walk up at them, kind of like looking at the guy like, oh no, look at the armor guy. And swords burst out. And
it's kind of like in Beetlejuice when he gets picked up and then all the swords pop out.
And the sword burst cut into them and they both go down.
Oh, God.
Because they were already sword bursted and also hail of thorns. And back to Gravely.
There's still one up.
One is up. That's the one Coach hit.
So
Gravely's turn. Gravely, you're standing by this empty armor.
Yeah.
With a guy out there in the woods.
I'm gonna get in the armor.
All right.
Let's see how this thing works.
So you climb in the armor and
Immediately turn evil. No.
all right, roll something. Roll for like armor comprehension. What would
Let's take a look at what you're
Is there a manual?
go ahead and make like a dexterity roll, maybe for like sliding into this and trying to
All right.
sort of figure out how
Just
it
a
works.
general dex roll.
Yeah.
Dex check. 16.
Oh, all right. So you're able to like pretty easily wiggle in there.
Dukes
and
of
you know
Hazzard
kind of
this thing.
what way
Through the window.
to get in there.
Through the helmet.
Yeah.
And it like the doors behind you like clank shut and like it and you're standing there in this armor. You can kind of feel in the arms there's like controls. It's almost like a glove that is actually in like more or less the elbow of this armor as far as your arms
For
reach.
about 30 seconds, you just see from an outside perspective, you see the armor going like raise arm, lower arm, raise leg, lower leg, turn head, do a little, and then I kind of get my bearings and I just start walking at first, like, and then I'm like, oh, all right, I think I got the hang of this, and I start running. I want to start running as fast as I can, or like power walking towards the others.
All right, so yeah, your feet fit in kind of like boots that are similarly probably like roughly knee size, and sort of you're like now operating essentially a mech, running towards
Gundam bravely.
So spending some time catching up to the others.
Do I see a microphone or like a projection that I see that the other creature was using?
No, and your face is exposed, but kind of like the helmet extends a little bit in front of you. So like what you were hearing was largely probably like his voice just sort of like echoing inside his empty armor.
Noted. I'm just going to use my action to dash I don't know how to do this, but I'm just going to keep moving.
All right, there's now a dude in armor running up to everybody else who, again, doesn't necessarily know that it's Gravely. And it's Coach's turn.
Guys, hello! It's me!
Coach's turn.
Tell me what to hit!
Coach is going to, he's going to keep hitting the one that he's currently hitting.
Yeah.
He's going to do it recklessly.
Yeah.
So he's going to take advantage on that first strike. That's going to be a 21 to hit on the first one. On the second one, he's going to roll a 15 to hit.
Roll damage. Both.
Oh, yes. The first one is going to be 11 damage, and the second is 6 damage. So total of 17 damage.
And that one goes down. So you've cleared out these 3 fire gnolls. 2 are off somewhere in the woods chasing a silent image of Sora.
Which probably isn't a
Didn't
thing
last
anymore.
that long. And so that one goes down, and the 3 of you look up and you see running towards you.
You've got to be
the
kidding
dude
me.
in armor.
Get up! But I am tired.
All right, you both run. I've got him.
It's Lyra's turn in the initiative.
I can't see anything. Hello? I mean, I can kind of see.
Oh my god. That creature sounds so much like Gravely.
It probably ate him.
It probably ate him!
No, it's me!
I'll never let you go!
Coach!
I'll avenge my friend! And I take out my short sword.
Lyra, don't do anything.
How do you know my name?
I would recognize your voice anywhere.
Gravely?
Oh my god.
Are you speaking from beyond the dead?
No, I'm inside of this robot.
I look at Coach and Maya.
This construct.
Can you feel I put my short sword back in. If you're really Gravely, answer this question that only Gravely would know.
All right.
Coach Maya, do you know? You guys know a lot better.
What was the name of the company you worked for before we met?
Dreadex.
It's Gravely!
Yay! Hugs to the big armor.
The big construct waves.
We see a musty cell deep underground, the bars seemingly made of roots, and in a corner of the cell, all alone in the dark, a black cloak stirs.